Well,
Hello.
welcome everybody.
Oh, okay, we're live.
Yep, welcome. See that some of you are already here waiting. That's very nice.
Although I realized when I went on here that I forgot to make this a live event, or it's not live but public. So I actually created this event 3 days ago to try to let people know what's happening, and then I made it unlisted. So
We're newbies.
nobody knew what was going on. So we'll see how many are here.
Yeah,
with
we
us.
don't do a lot of lives, so. But a lot of you are probably like us, and you're busy, and so if you're catching this as a replay, that's great.
Perfect.
Um,
Nothing wrong with that.
no, nothing at all. And you'll notice, well, it's not too unfinished back there.
I thought you were gonna say something about my beard.
No, there's some raw edges behind us, but not too bad.
You know, we're in renovation.
And we are at home, so there will be some sounds.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh.
Welcome to the Soulful Tramp, Jamie.
Awesome.
Good morning.
She
And
said hi.
Bella.
Australia.
Oh, yeah, Bella. Long time no talk.
Wow.
Best sleep diffuser blend for kids. I would probably use Serenity. But there's another one. I'm going to look.
Okay.
You talk about Serenity.
Yeah. So we've used Serenity oftentimes for kind of calming down that sort of thing. And, you know, it's great.
In a diffuser, I would use Serenity and maybe Wild Orange. That's a really good one just for everybody for any sort of relaxation. But they do have a roll-on blend for kids called Calmer. Everything's backwards, huh?
Is it backwards?
I don't know. Is it backwards for you guys? Hi, Roberta. Hi, KS in Northern Virginia.
Sweet. Cheryl.
In Southern Wisconsin.
I love Wisconsin.
It's not backwards?
Yay.
Good. So this is something you could roll on the back of their neck, on their hands, that sort of thing to help with sleep, or just any sort of stress or anxious feelings. That's a really good blend. It's for kids. It smells really good. So
that's a good.
Actually, it's not for kids. It's just one of their emotional blend oils. So.
And the reason we said that is because there was a question on the chat here about what's the best sleep diffuser blend for kids.
Yeah, so I would probably go with Serenity or Wild Orange, definitively.
For little kids. Those are the simple ones too.
Yeah. But Wild Orange is just a great all-around oil for diffusing. It's going to help lift mood. It's going to help purify the air and all sorts of good stuff like that. So that's a great question right off the bat.
Sweet. We like good questions. But it's going to be fairly quick today. Our day became a little bit crazy, and we'll give you guys a little bit of insider info here. Since this is one of the benefits of coming on this YouTube channel, is that we got word just last Thursday that Andrew was leaving today to go to South Africa on his mission. So we knew he'd be leaving sometime this week, but we didn't know what day. And then suddenly it was like, oh, he's leaving on Monday afternoon. That's awesome. So we went into kind of overdrive to get everything ready. So
it's like, maybe we should look at your packing list for moving for 2 years.
So it kind of got crazy, but there will be a video about that, but it won't be for probably a couple more weeks because we're behind that much in our videos. Anyway, so we can't be here too long, but we'll be here long enough to go over some basic stuff on the oils.
Yeah, Bella, it is great. You can put the Serenity with the Wild Orange in your diffuser. That's a great idea. I also like to put it on my pillow. I feel like I'll turn over in the night and I like smell the oils again, and that's really good. So I'll put it on my hands and then kind of rub it on my pillow. And then breathe it in with my hands too. And then thank you, KS and the Soulful Tramp, for your prayers and support for Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will answer one more question, but then I'm going to go over some basics about oils, and then we'll do question and answer at the end.
Right.
But Roberta says, do you have anything to help with vertigo? I think it depends on what your vertigo is caused by. There are several different things that vertigo can be caused by. I know that some people use Deep Blue. I know that some people use the Balance blend, but I think it depends because I have struggled with vertigo, but it is related to the same, like herpes simplex, which gives me cold sores. Turns out it's also related to that as well, which has been a life changer for me because then I just take supplements of lysine and that gets rid of my vertigo. And interestingly, so I think it depends on what's causing your vertigo. And if you know that and you can pinpoint that, then that's going to be the oil that it helps with. So.
And how are you using those? Like if people were to use those,
I think typically you're going to be putting them along the back of their ear, and and on the bottom of their feet. So Balance or Deep Blue. Those are the two I've heard of just off the top of my head. But it just really depends.
Sweet. Okay. So why don't we go over the basics of essential oils real quick, what they are, kind of the different ways to use them, and then we'll go over a few of our favorite oils, and also a special that doTERRA is having this month.
Yeah. So Mike and I were introduced to essential oils for the first time in probably 2010. I had a bunch of little kids at the time, 13 years ago. That's crazy. And
it was only 4.
Yeah, that's true. But they were all little. Liza was only 9 at the time, and we had a winter season where it was like back to back. Somebody was sick for the entire winter, and I was very frustrated. And I was voicing this to another young mom, and she said, well, we just use oregano oil or essential oils. I had no idea what those were. And she brought over some oregano oil and some empty capsules that you can open up to put the oregano in, and said, try this. And I don't think I ever tried it. It was in a baggie. I remember I put it on top of the fridge so that the kids wouldn't get to it. And I'm pretty sure it's like 2 or 3 weeks later, she came back, and I thanked her, and I gave her back her bag of oregano oil and capsules. But I wasn't against it. It was just, I think, such a new idea to me. I'd never heard of it. It just seemed a little overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, and you weren't sure what to do.
Yeah. And so she was the first one that shared oils with me, but she was persistent, and she shared oils again and again with me and helped me kind of understand what they were and how to use them. Things have changed though. I think now a lot more of us are a lot more open and comfortable with using essential oils, which are just the aromatic compounds found on plants. They are not the fatty oils like an olive oil, which you would press out of, or
a canola oil.
You can press them out, but they're not fats.
Right.
When we say oils, sometimes people think that it's a lighter liquid that's found on the plants, and it's typically the plant's natural like immune function
or repellent function for other animals.
So it's like their immune system, something that will keep bugs off, something that will keep the plant healthy and strong. And we've been using them for literally thousands of years.
And I have?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, we are really
We have
old
been
people.
around a while. No,
very wise.
But as humans, we've been using plants medicinally. And a lot of the time when you're using a plant medicinally, you're just harnessing the essential oil that's on that plant. They can be on the leaves of a plant, like with mint oil. If you were to, or a lot of herbs, if you rub the leaves in between your fingers, you're breaking those oil sacs and smelling those, aromatic compounds. They can be on the roots or the bark or in the flowers
or the berry.
The berry on the peel of a citrus fruit. A lot of the time, when the zest, that's where those essential oil compounds are found. But they can help you with all sorts of things. And so I think it was probably just a couple hundred years ago when we really started understanding distillation and getting it so that all you have left is the oil. And that means that if you have a true essential oil that's pure and unadulterated and like expertly distilled, it's very, 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 very potent. And so also when I first saw these bottles, I think we're all actually a lot more comfortable with them now than maybe 10, 13 years ago. Yeah. You think, well, how long is that going to last me? That doesn't seem like that's going to last very long. But because they're so potent, you're going to be using a drop or two at a time. And there's something like 180 drops in here, 250 drops. I think it depends on how thick the oil is.
How
because
viscous.
Yeah, some oils, the drops will be a little bit bigger because it's kind of a thicker oil. So,
and then, so how do you have a question?
Oh yeah, that's somebody just said that frankincense is safe. doTERRA's frankincense is safe for oral use. Somebody was asking if it was, because it can help with vertigo. Frankincense is just an amazing oil and can be used for many, many things, for brain health and all sorts of immune function.
So we should probably go over the 3 ways that you can use them.
Yeah.
Too, right? When we talk about oral use.
So that's what oils are. There are 3 different ways to use them. First would be topically. And that I think a lot of us understand. And let's say you got a sunburn and you want to help your skin with its recovery, you're going to put some lavender oil on your skin. I use oils topically on my face every night for part of my skincare to help my, as I get a little bit older, help my cells
You should do a class on that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
My skin cells on my face, that helps them repair themselves and stay healthy, which will help me look my best. And I'm very happy with that. So I use oils topically every day for that. But you also might have some sort of, Jude, was it, that got stung by a bee just the other day, and we were able to put a blend called Purify on that sting and immediately take the pain down. So that's using your oils topically.
Right.
But it also isn't just for skin, because it will absorb into your skin. And so if you're putting something on the bottom of your feet that has nothing to do with your feet, it's going to get into your bloodstream very quickly and spread throughout your body really in a matter of minutes. And so it'll be supporting your cells and all sorts of different parts of your system with use topically. So it's a great way to use your oils. The second way to use your oils is aromatically, and that would be with your diffuser.
Look, I got one right here. I just happen to have one right here. It's a little bit dusty because of all the construction, but something like this. Usually you put a little bit of water in with it, and then some drops of oil, and it comes out the top.
Yeah. And so you want an ultrasonic diffuser, because that's going to get it light enough so that when you're breathing in, you can really absorb it into your airways. But aromatically is a great way to just spread the oils throughout the home, help with your air quality. Yep. Help with your mood. That's a huge thing.
Your mood quality.
Yes, your mood quality. And so that's one of my favorite ways to use my oils. And it's not just like a happy, cozy feeling in your home for it to smell good, but when you're using plant oils, you're actually supporting your health and including your mental health. So I love doing that.
It's a simple way to use it, because it's hard to go wrong with it. It's not like you can use too much, or I think if you're kind of unsure about it, it's an easy way to use oils.
Yeah. And I think the number one question we get with aromatic use of oils is how will it affect pets. I think the main thing is there are some oils that are like that your pets don't like. It's can be hard on their system, like tea tree or clove. But I went to a class taught by a veterinarian, and she said, as long as you're not locking your cat in a room and diffusing large amounts of that oil or forcing them to stay by your diffuser, your cat knows, like, hey, that's bugging me. Even when I put on certain lotions, my cat's like, get away from me. I don't want to be anywhere near you. They will go and find somewhere they're more comfortable away from the diffuser. So you really, it would be kind of strange use of your oils for it to actually start to harm your cat. So just some common sense there.
Trying to do
that. Just some common sense when you're diffusing with your pets, and just letting them have somewhere else they can go out, walk out of the room if it is bothering them a little bit. But it's pretty diluted when it gets into the air, so it's not going to be too bad for them, because you actually can use oils with your pets. But the third way that we use our oils is internally, and this is something that where oil quality is always important, making sure that what you're putting on your skin is actually the thing that's advertised, which it often isn't, especially when you're finding things, at maybe cheaper places. And for, it's hard to know what you're getting. But when you want to use your oils internally, that's especially important, that they are coming from a company that does create really high quality oils, and you know what you're getting,
right? And
has a lot of transparency about that too.
Nothing extra in there.
Yeah, and so we do use our oils internally. Like I said before, my friend was telling me to put oregano oil in a capsule and take that, like a pill. We put them in our water. We use them for seasoning our food, and it is also a great way to use your oils. Maybe a little bit more targeted for your digestive system,
right?
For your immune function. We have a really great capsule blend that Doterra makes called On Guard Plus, and it has a bunch of oils that have antiviral and antibacterial properties. So we use that a lot
in the colder months.
Yeah, when people aren't feeling well. So that's the third way to use your oils, but it is something I only recommend or feel comfortable saying only if you're using. I'm only going to say Doterra's oils for that. So I'm not going to say that you're going to be fine doing that with any other oil.
But there are a few Doterra's oils that even though they're pure and safe, should not be used internally, just because of the compounds.
They'll say on the bottle. I think it's interesting because lavender has already been recognized as generally safe for consumption. But on the if you go find a cheap bottle of lavender, it'll say not for internal use. And I think it's because it isn't just lavender. A lot of times when you're distilling a plant, you just want to make sure that you're applying heat and pressure, and that will bring the oils off the plant. But companies that want to make oils more cheaply and have a higher profit margin will use chemical like to get even more
like strips more
off the plant, but those chemicals are going to end up in your oils as well. And so even somebody might say like, oh, I hated the smell of that oil, or my skin had a reaction to it. It might be because of those chemicals that are in there, those other compounds, rather than just the oil. And so that's why you really want to be really careful. Yeah. But thank you, Julianne, for loving our family and loving doTERRA. We do too.
One quick tip.
Don't get phone calls during live streams.
One quick tip also is, so oils, even though they're safe for use topically, some of them can still be can burn a little bit.
Spicy.
And so you want to be careful for that, especially something like oregano or cinnamon, clove, any of those oils. So you want to dilute those with another oil. We recommend a fractionated coconut oil, which doTERRA has. We don't actually have a bottle here with us right now.
I actually use their fractionated coconut oil to wash my face every night.
Right.
All it is raw. We love raw coconut oil too, and if you have a good raw coconut oil, but fractionated coconut oil is where they put a lot of heat and pressure on the coconut oil, and it blasts the compound so it stays liquid even at room temperature.
Right.
And it also loses its aroma. So raw coconut oil has all sorts of benefits, but fractionated coconut oil is just a really great basic carrier oil that doesn't have any other smell, and it's got a great consistency. So
it also absorbs more quickly. Yeah. But what will happen though is if you do have an oil that's burning on your skin, or maybe your child's skin, the best thing to do is use a carrier oil like the fractionated coconut oil, or if you don't have anything else around, you could use canola oil. You could use any butter. You can put anything on that, oil. And it'll essentially slow down the absorption, and it'll take care of any burning. We've even had kids who get oils on their eye, and you pour some olive oil on there, and it takes care of it almost immediately. Yeah. So don't use water. You can use soap and water, but don't use just straight water because it won't really help.
You don't really want to put soap though in someone's eye if they got oils in it. So
true. And also as far as internal use, we don't recommend putting any oils directly in the ear or directly in the nose. You want to use either a carrier oil and put it around, or puts on something like a little cotton ball, because we can use oils for ear issues or nostril, whatever, but you want to put it kind of outside and let it sort of aromatically go in rather than dropping it right in. It'll be painful.
Yeah.
So
good tips. Good
little tips for me. I'm the tip guy.
Yep. Okay. So I think those are the basics of oils. And so they are very, very complex. I think lavender oil has been found to have 1,000 different chemical compounds in it. And these are terpenes and monoterpenes. These all have health benefits. Yeah, I know. I seem pretty smart for a second there, but no, they all have different health benefits. And so, sometimes it seems really hokey and seems kind of snake oily when you see all of the things that lavender oil can do. And that's, I think, in part because we're used to modern medicine where we have isolated that one chemical compound and then we recreate it in a lab and put it into a medicine. But in their natural states, where a lot of those medicines are derived from, they have thousands. And so lavender oil can help both with maybe support your seasonal allergies, also, and burns on your skin. So I know when you're not used to it and it's new, you think like, well, it can't really do all of those things. But weird. Oils really can do so many amazing things. And I think more than ever, all of us are looking for ways to support ourselves more naturally. I think as time has gone by, as I've grown older, realized how much maybe there's the modern medicine isn't always created in my favor. They're not always looking out for my long-term health necessarily. And so it's nice to be able to take care of things a little bit more naturally and just more independently, that I don't have to necessarily go and get things at the store or with, a practitioner. I can do a lot of things on my own. And we take care of 90 to 98% of our healthcare needs all on our own, as we've learned just some few basics of essential oils. So we've come a long way from 13 years ago, but
this is true. Okay. So do you want to go over some basic favorites or?
Yes. Well, or I didn't know. What do you guys think? Should we just, yes. Okay. KS. If we're just starting, are there basics we should start with? Yes. So doTERRA has put together several basic kits that have oils that like are kind of like the oils you'll turn to 90% of the time.
Right.
That like, okay, so we showed this one in our video. Andrew, answer the phone.
This is why, folks.
Sorry.
The kids are here.
He's using my phone. So Doterra has 2 kits that have the same 10 basic oils in it. And we showed these on the video, but they're the Family Essentials.
Whoa.
Is that what they're called?
No, well, they've changed the name of the Family Essentials kit.
Yeah, it's like...
Let me show you. If you go to our website, northandsouth.com, and go to the oils section.
Are we still live when we go away?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It has these kits. So you've got the Home Essentials, which is right
here.
There. And then you have, now that kit is called, oh my goodness.
Healthy Start?
Healthy Start, yes.
Okay. So let's go back because I'm afraid that we're not there.
We're live.
Okay. It's like when you're in Zoom though, you would like disappear off the screen. So, oh no, it's been raided.
We keep using these dang oils.
Both have been raided because we're sending Andrew up today, so we were raiding it for oils. But the only difference is they're the exact same 10 and they're basics. Like you have lemon, lavender, peppermint, oregano, tea tree, frankincense. Those are your oils that are just single oils. And then there's some blends in there that are really, really good. Digestin, which is a bunch of oils that help support digestive health. There's Breathe, which I pulled out of there. It's a bunch of oils, obviously, for supporting your respiratory function. And then On Guard, which is a super popular blend. It's for protecting your immune function.
Supporting that.
Yeah, supporting that. And then, sorry that we have to use all these words. These are all required legally for us to just say stuff like support immune function.
The FDA, come on.
And then there's one more in there. Deep Blue. Deep Blue. We have it here it comes in several forms, but in here it's in an oil. This oil, they take a bottle this size and put it into a lotion, this rub, which is incredible too.
Yep.
And so the difference between these 2 kits is in this kit, there's they're in 5 milliliter size, which has about 80 to 85 drops.
Here, compare those 2. Look.
Oh, look.
Comparison.
And this one is how much, Mike? 150.
I gotta look. The price is
160.
Right.
And then the Home Essentials has all of those oils in their full size. And a diffuser.
Yes. Well, the other one has a diffuser too. Healthy Start has a little diffuser.
Oh my goodness.
These days.
Yeah. Okay.
These didn't come with diffusers way back when we were
starting. It's a smaller, like more like bedroom size diffuser. The Home Essentials has full size and more of a kind of like living room size diffuser.
It looks like the one I just held up. It looks like this one.
But white.
But it's white.
Yeah.
See that, everybody?
And that's for $270.
I think you can.
So they have several starter kits. Those are just the ones that have like your basic oils.
And the description of this video, sorry, you can hear Eve in the background a little bit.
Maybe somebody needs some oils.
Yeah. The description of this video has a link on our website where we have all the intro kits that we're naming plus more. And you can just click on there and you can go directly from there to get one if you want.
Okay. So Soulful Tramp has a great question. She said she would love to hear about the origin of doTERRA, where and why it's so clean and pure. We will do a whole live on that because I love doTERRA. I'm very proud of them as a company. And like every time they do something, I'm like, that's exactly what I would have wanted you to do. So I'm very happy with them.
But we could say really quickly, couldn't we?
Yes.
These were people that were in the essential industry for a long time. They recognized that there was a gap, or this wasn't available as far as sourcing and that
yeah,
sort of thing.
And they said they were hearing that like, well, that's just how it goes. Nobody has oils that don't have any impurities in them. And they thought, well, is there a way to do it? And so they started to explore it and started with a very, I think like 5 oils.
Mm-hmm.
But now
this is back in 2008.
Yeah. And now they have, I think we have like 200 oils, including blends, but we also work directly with our farmers. And we also try to work with small scale farmers. So a lot of our farmers will have like 1 to 5 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And they come from these places where these oils grow indigenously. And so they're going to have a lot more of those chemical compounds, because when I grow lavender in my yard, it is very different than the lavender grown in certain parts of France, like actually chemically very different.
Yep.
And so that's important. And so it's okay for it to be grown somewhere else, but you want to make sure that you're looking at it scientifically in a lab to say, is this lavender actually having the compounds that lavender is supposed to have to help you medicinally? So they do a lot of that testing. They work directly with their farmers. They pay their farmers very well. There's no middlemen. And there's also a lot of transparency about their oils. Every batch of their oils is numbered. There's a batch number on the bottom and tested to make sure that nothing is sneaking in, nothing weird is happening.
So because the reason why is the farmers, you might be in Bulgaria, they distill it, they send it to Doterra in Utah where their headquarters are, and they test it there just to make sure that everything is good. So
yeah. So those things are all really important. So these are not just organic, they're beyond organic. There's nothing in there. Like very often when you're buying frankincense at the grocery store from one of those brands now that you'll find in maybe the natural part of the grocery store, that's going to have like the chemical equivalent of like turpentine in it, because that chemically smells and acts a little bit like frankincense, but it's not frankincense and actually is not going to have the health benefits and actually can be detrimental. And so those things are really important, and it's important that you are always testing it, that every batch is tested. And so that's something that's really important for Doterra and the guarantee that they make. So pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember hearing too that people would say like, sometimes when I use this oil, it works. And then other times I get it and it doesn't work at all. And that's another thing that's important, is that our oils are always, we can depend on them. You know, your lavender does smell different if it's a spring harvest versus a fall harvest. One's a little bit sweeter, but we should still have the same chemical makeup so that we can depend on that lavender to help our skin or to help with our, you know, different things that we're using our lavender medicinally for.
That reminds me, lavender. Someone asked about the best oils for scars for injuries.
There's a few blends that Doterra makes. One is called Immortelle that blends a lot of these oils. They're going to help with skin rejuvenation and cell health. That might be a really good place to start. Doterra now has a rose roll-on, which might help with that. Frankincense can help. There's a lot of oils, and there's a lot of crossover because each plant doesn't have just its chemical compounds and no other plant has that. You're going to find a lot of oils have similar chemical compounds, but they just might have one a little bit more than another. So you can use lavender and what is the jasmine? They have a lot of the same relaxation chemical compounds in them. So
right.
So I would start with Immortelle or frankincense. If you're starting with a starter kit, start with frankincense. That's going to help a lot.
Soulful Tramp said she helped with a broken bone in her foot.
Awesome.
Doterra.
Really, yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so definitely recommend one of those kits if you have no oils and you want to get started. Look at the kit options, see which one fits in your budget, and go with one of those. We always, the more oils, obviously, the better, because you can do more with more. But go to the link is in our description for all the kits. It goes to our website, and we have them all listed out, and you can go directly from there to purchase a kit if you like.
Okay, so let's open up for questions now. And then, unless you wanted to share first, that Doterra has a special right now.
So there is one cool thing this month right now. They have the Ready for Anything kit, which is kind of a summer-focused kit.
It's pretty fun.
Because we're all out being more active, which means we're more likely to get sunburned, bit by bugs, or hurt ourselves, essentially, those three things.
Over 40 especially.
And so Doterra's put together a kit, which I put a link, again, in the description of this video. You can link right to it. Purchase that kit. And also what's cool for the rest of this year is enrolling as a wholesale member, which means you get wholesale prices. Normally there's a $35 fee for that, kind of like Costco, but they're waiving that fee. So you can buy this kit or enroll as a wholesale member, and you don't pay the $35, which is awesome.
You get wholesale prices,
which is 20% off what retail prices are.
Yeah.
But let me show you what's in that kit, because it's pretty sweet. Doterra now has a sunscreen line, and that unscrews. So the one of those is this stick, which is all natural.
Smells very good.
Smells very good. Smells kind of citrusy, kind of orangey.
So you can just roll it on.
Yeah, it's a So it's a stick. It's reef friendly. Awesome.
Yeah. So if you're going to Mexico, you can use this.
Or just out to the lake.
I just like to use reef friendly too, because it's like, well, if it was killing fish and it was bad for the reef, maybe I shouldn't be putting it on my skin anyways. So
good point.
It smells really good. I've made mine in the past. So happy that Doterra makes it now. So
and that's an SPF 40. So that's an all natural sunscreen. There's also Lavender Touch. So for any burns or bug bites, this is a great to support sort of allergy response. Okay,
so I will explain. Lavender usually comes like this, But doTERRA has a whole line of oils called the Touch oils, is where they're pre-diluted. Not because the oils need to be diluted necessarily, unless you're trying to use them specifically for your skin. Because essential oils are really small particles and they'll absorb really quickly. And so if you have something going on in your skin, like a burn, let's say a sunburn, and you want to make it feel better and get better faster, if you put it on, it'll just absorb into your bloodstream, which is awesome. But you're actually trying to keep it on those cells. And so it is pre-diluted with the carrier oil, the fractionated coconut oil. So it will sit on top a lot longer where you're hoping to have it.
It slows that absorption.
Yeah. So those are the Touch ones. It comes with the Lavender Touch.
Well, and also it has a little roller in there.
Yes.
So it's
let's
easy.
show you what it looks like.
It just rolls on. See that? It's a little metal roller, which is great.
Little metal marble.
Yeah. So easy to put on for kids, all that kind of good stuff.
Good for stings, good for too much time in the sun, good for rolling on their neck when they're having a hard time sleeping, maybe a little too much soda, or maybe they're just sleeping in a new place.
Not that we would
they can take it with them to summer camp, that sort of thing.
Also, Terra Shield is in this kit. Best bug spray you'll ever buy.
If you don't buy anything else from doTERRA, everybody in the whole world should have Terra Shield. It is the best bug spray. It works way better than any DEET product, and it's 100% natural. It smells yummy. Like, I'm not kidding. We have not bought any Deep Woods, any of that stuff in a decade because of this. So I'm going to show you how we use it, because whenever I share it with friends, they use it in a way where I'm like, no.
Well, it's way too much.
Yes, you don't need much. So you go like this. You spray it onto your hand, and then I rub it on. Because what people do.
I do it differently. I rub it on my hands like this, and then I rub it around.
Okay.
So I think I'm being better.
You don't need much, because what I see people do is they take it. I was about to put my arm up, but then you would have seen my arm. Okay, I'll do it. You would have seen that. But people just go like this and hold it, and all of it just goes into the air. And
or
then
they do like multiple sprays.
Yeah, this doesn't last very long. That is enough. It really is enough. And so I do about 1 spray per appendage when I'm wanting to keep the bugs off. And I also, the thing that's crazy about DEET, when you're reading the bottle, it's like that you're supposed to like wash it off after a couple of hours. You're like, who's doing that? Nobody's doing that. We're spraying it all over ourselves and then sitting in it overnight in our tent.
Well, and it gets all grimy and gross.
It's not good for you. But this I can put on and I feel super happy. And I also feel like, because it's those complex chemical compounds, I'm actually supporting my health in a lot of other ways. So I feel really happy about it. It's not hard on the environment, and it works better. Okay. And it's cheap, but it's in this kit.
Also the On Guard sanitizing hand spray, which is great. You just
same thing.
It's like a hand sanitizer with On Guard. Smells like cinnamon and clove. It's really good, because
kind of Christmassy.
That's actually what's in there.
That's weird.
Crazy. And then we get peppermint beadlets. Now, we couldn't find our peppermint beadlets because of this move. In fact, I can't find it.
But they look just like this, except it says peppermint. Beadlets also have On Guard. And I come like this. Can you see my hand? Oh, look.
Oh, there it is. It's essentially 1 drop of essential oil in
I think it's like, maybe 1 to 3 drops. And it is in a vegetable capsule.
You put it in your mouth.
Yeah. You could also just use it like a peppermint in your mouth is good. It's like a mint.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for maybe if you're sitting in the car, but you don't have to just put it in your mouth. If you want to hand it back to your kids in the back of the car. Well, this is exciting. It should be like
is it gonna pop?
3D.
Oh, it got on the screen. Whoa.
But I just popped it with my hand, and then you could, if it was the peppermint one, you could have them run it along the top of their forehead, under their nose, on the back of their neck when they're maybe feeling a little car sick. We do lots of peppermint in the car for that reason.
But also remember, peppermint's going to make your skin feel cool. So there will be a cooling feeling, and it's seriously cool. So
you've got that cooling
feeling.
Some
people actually think that it's burning, but it's actually cooling.
This is in here.
And then it also comes with, again, it comes with Deep Blue. However, they're like these little travel packets, so you can keep them with you. I think it's 5 of them.
The Deep Blue Rub, yeah.
The Deep Blue Rub is awesome for aches and pains. I use this stuff almost daily on my knees because I run, and it's amazing.
Any inflammation, support.
And I think that's all of it.
Yeah. So it's all of this stuff, remember, in the packet form.
You're right.
And enrollment fees are waived, and this, you get all of this for
$79.
So that's an awesome kit.
Yeah.
Super fun. Check that out. Okay.
So link.
There's a link in this video description.
And you're dropping on the floor.
I know, I'm dropping on the floor. And I'm also very distracted because there's like Amazon truck in front of our house. That's like, you know, like it's like cocaine. It's like drugs.
You're like, what they
like
doing?
drugs to me. Okay.
That was a
first question.
was a reference to a video on our other channel.
Did you guys ever hear about Les the Log when we went to England and he came up to us and he
Go
says,
watch one of our
logs are like drugs to me.
Wait, what are we doing here? We're not opening Amazon.
Mail time!
No,
we just got a letter.
No.
We just got a letter. It's a photo album for Andrew to take. Okay. First question that we're going to start with is anything for teen acne? Yes. We have used a couple of things for teen acne. Tea tree oil is awesome. And so doTERRA has some facial cleansers. We also use doTERRA's face scrub line. It's like a 1-2 product. What is that called? It's in our shower right now.
Oh my goodness.
We all use it.
Should I go get it?
Sure, if you want. We use that. They have several different skincare products, but we use that with our kids to support their skin. And we also use tea tree oil. You can use it topically just on a problem spot, or some people will make it into a mist or just put it over your face. It's very cooling. It's nice. You can add it to lotion and put it on. Another thing though I have used and has worked well is our hormone blend called Clary Calm. And sometimes, you can just tell it's hormonal acne with teenagers. It so often is. And so I have put both that on and tea tree on and seen, especially Elijah, I remember putting it on and just seeing like almost an immediate response with his skin. And then another thing that if those things aren't helping and you're just not finding that topical helps, I think that working on their gut health can help. And so that means you're maybe going to do some sort of cleanse. doTERRA has some products for that, like GX Assist and then PB Assist. Probiotics sometimes don't help because you have so much junk in your gut that there's nowhere for the good bacteria to adhere to. There's so much junk. It's like every spot that it would adhere and create healthy bacteria in there, it's room's taken, right? The seat's taken. And so first you got to do kind of a cleanse and kill out a lot of the like yeast that you might have in there and the bad bacteria. And then you go back in with your probiotics and stuff, prebiotics. So you might also want to address that. I know gut health is a huge part of what's showing up on your skin. Okay.
I got this for you if you want.
Oh, look, the Reveal
Careful,
facial system.
It's wet.
Because it just came out
of our shower. I had to wash the hair off of it. It's
the best scrub. I can't it's not like super cheap. And so I've tried several times to find like a cheaper thing for my teenagers because I'm a mean mom. But I know it doesn't work as well. So they always come back to this. It's really awesome. It's you start with this one, and then one that's still on your skin, you go ahead and add in this peptide activator. Love it. We've been using it for a decade now.
Yeah.
That's what we use.
So you can find this just if you go through our kind of general link to doTERRA, which if I don't already have it, I'll put it in the description below, and you can find the Reveal facial system, search for it.
So Roberta asked about, is it Roberta or Roberta? Both are pretty.
We don't know.
What about severe osteoporosis? I am not a doctor.
What? I thought you were.
I know.
Oh, you fooled me.
But would recommend that you're going to so much of the inflammation that we're having in our bodies is once again coming from gut health. And so that regimen I just talked about with the GX Assist and PB Assist and Healthy Gut, I believe they have a kit for that, for doing a cleanse, and it has lemon oil that you'd be adding to your water. It's not going to be a quick process, but it's going to be, I've heard many people talk about healing their gut, using oils, and then being able to get rid of so many of these secondary problems that they're having, like inflammation throughout their body and skin issues and nutritional deficiencies, things along those lines. Our gut is like a second brain in our body, and it's very, very important. And I think ancestrally, our ancestors were always eating a lot of these fermented foods that were giving us the good bacteria, and our just modern diets aren't. And so we're having all sorts of problems come up that all kind of relate back to the lack of good bacteria in our guts. So gut health, that's what I would look at.
I think that's it.
All right. Any other questions? We've gone a little bit longer. The kids are waiting to go to lunch at Chick-fil-A.
Speaking of being healthy.
Andrew's last. What is that? You got a birthday card? You're so lucky. Eve.
Just a
Nope,
minute.
it's not your birthday
Gotta wait
yet.
till your birthday. Eve is Eve's in the background.
So as long as those were all really great questions.
But I will say this: so for July and August, we're going to be doing this sort of thing twice a week, Monday and Wednesday. Wednesdays will be in the evening at 7 our time Eastern. So you can tune back in if you have questions any of those times. We're going to be here quite a bit for July and August.
Yeah.
So this isn't like the only one. So tell your friends, tell your parents, and your kids to all come to those. So and all the links you need are below if you want to get a kit, get this summer kit that we talked about, or just enroll. Enrollment fees are $0 this year, which is awesome again. So you save $35. And
then an extra 20% now.
And then you get a wholesale membership that lasts a year, and you get wholesale prices for the full year.
Oh, great question. Soulful Tramp Jamie asked if becoming a wholesale member means now that you have to sell. No, that's a different thing. There's wholesale member and there's wellness advocate. And wellness advocates where you're like, hey, I want to share these. I want to, make some extra money or whatever. Wholesale member is literally just like Sam's Club, Costco. You don't ever have to share a thing. We have literally thousands of wholesale members on our team and in our organization who just love their oils, have never wanted to do anything but get doTERRA's oils.
However, there's a really cool thing that doTERRA does now where you can refer a friend. You have a little link that actually is going to pop up as soon as you create your account. And when you log into your wholesale account, a little window pops up and it's a link that you can send to any friend or family who wants to get oils. And what happens is you earn a 20% credit within doTERRA that you can use toward oils.
Which is awesome because it's natural that if like you're using something and it's working, like let's say Terra Shield and your friend wants to get some, you're like, I got a link for you. But that is not the same as, pursuing doTERRA.
You're not getting cash and you're not working for the company or whatever, but you do get credit. So it's like an affiliate link that Amazon does. So it's an easy way to earn a little bit of credit, but there's no pressure. And it's just free stuff for you, essentially.
Okay, and then we did get a question from Pat about using oils for arthritis. I would say once again, the cleanse if you're really wanting to go in deep and get things back to square one. But Deep Blue, any of the Deep Blue products, we showed the Deep Blue rub.
Where'd the rub go?
Deep Blue, it fell on the floor.
Oh, that's what you dropped.
Yeah, Deep Blue rub is like in lotion form. I'm not kidding when I say a little goes a long way.
Oh, I just
use
the
smallest amount, not even pea-sized, not even that much. Then you can also get it in
a stick
form. I was like afraid there'd be like chest hair on it or something.
I don't rub that on my chest. What are you talking about? There's no hair on my chest.
You can also get it in a roller, like we showed earlier. The roller bottle like this, or just oil. All of those. That's awesome for helping support inflammatory response. Wasn't that good?
Good job. And almost every kit has Deep Blue in it in some form or fashion.
Yeah. And then we have not ever used oils on our cats. We haven't had the need to. So, nope, we haven't. But we talked about that earlier. I know there's a book out there that I've seen on essential oils for pets and has all the guidelines and all of the helpful. I wouldn't hesitate to. I mean, I would be careful. But I would also know that if there was something going on, I would want to look and see if there's an oil I could use to help with that. So, okay. So if you were late today and you didn't get to see that at the beginning, once we end this live, it will take like maybe 2 minutes or something. I don't know how long it takes. Maybe it's longer, but you can go back and watch the replay.
It'll post as just a regular video.
So thanks for guys for coming along. I know. Gotta go Chick-fil-A. But we'll be back not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, right? In the evening.
No, this Wednesday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it twice a week?
Yeah, that's what we said.
I'm pretty sure I said once a week.
Oh, well, I already told people this Wednesday.
Well, I got to listen to this guy. He's my boss. So we'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah,
okay.
Everybody knows he's not my boss.
All right. I think that's it.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. See you Wednesday evening.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Ooh.